Olivia Yawn. Yeah. Coming to the stage, Jan Flugum, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together. You guys can do better than that. Jan Flugum, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank you. I usually hate it when comedians fish for clapping, especially at the beginning of a set. I swear I'm not doing that, but I did recently quit smoking marijuana. So you can clap for that if you want to. Everybody else here smokes marijuana, all right. Cool. It totally sucks. I had to do it though. I had to do it. Not for the normal reasons, like you get too paranoid or you get too lazy. But when I smoke weed, this thing happens where I get homo tendencies. Yeah, homo tendencies. Like, I'll concentrate on the wrong stuff. I would just be walking around with my girlfriend, and I would lean into her and I would just be like, she is not really wearing that out in public right now. Who told her those pants were okay? My girlfriend would be like, you are done. No more smoking for you. Be watching porn, noticing wrong stuff, like how come the black guys always wear their shoes? It messes with how you think. You're really too deep philosophical about certain stuff. But mine were homo tendencies. So I'd have thoughts like, it's literally been forever since I've sucked a dick. That's kind of cool. That's one of my ghetto tendencies, I guess. I have a lot of ghetto tendencies too. I grew up in West LA and I went to some schools where I was the only white kid, so there were some effects. Some of my other ghetto tendencies are black chicks really like me. They do. Only the fat ones though. They always touch my butt in clubs. It's kind of nice. Some other homo tendencies. I was born with one strike. My mom has a strike already. She's put bills in my name when I was a child. So it's like there's just little differences. Like black people put hot sauce on everything, and white people put ketchup on everything. There's like white trash and ghetto. But not everything about me is ghetto. Like there's some stuff that's really white, like cops really dig me. So that's cool, getting jobs is super easy. There's a tiebreaker though, only went to high school for 1 year, but it's because I started going to Cal State LA when I was 12 and I tested out early, so that's kind of neutral. I got fucked with a lot in the schools where I was the only white kid, and it wasn't until I explained to them why they should not do that they actually stopped. So I would fight all the time, and then one day I got jumped in the locker room by like 10 guys, and I fought them all off, and I'm crying, and everyone's like, whoa, what's going on? And this dude's on the floor, and I'm like, what is wrong with you? Why won't you leave me alone? Don't you realize white people are fucking crazy? White people go to prison for eating people. Don't you realize that when you come to school and shoot somebody, you bring one gun, it's just you, and you shoot one guy? White people go to school and shoot people, they bring their friends, every gun they can find, and they kill everybody. They're crazy. White people are crazy. I always felt like as a comedian it was kind of unfair that comedians of every other ethnicity could get on stage and talk about their own culture and then talk about white people. Like, it's cool, I get it. That's the other thing is, it wasn't until I got to the schools where I was the only white kid that I had that history lesson explained to me. Because I got home and my parents were like, what's wrong? And I was like, everybody hates me. And I'm like, why? And they're like, because you're white. And I don't get it. And that was the first time it ever got explained to me. They were like, okay. Basically, like 400 years ago, everybody that looked like us here owned everybody that looked like them, and fresh wound. So, you're just gonna have to deal with that shit now. It's cool, you could have told me that, like, week ago, and that would help me a lot. But it's a history lesson, and I started looking at it, and I realized that I can talk about my culture. I feel like everybody else beats around the bush, and I guess white people's thing is just that we fuck shit up. That's just what we're good at, that's just what we're known for. And you can follow that throughout history. For example, if you look at white people history, they just like to fuck shit up. Just each other. Like, okay, I went to Roberto's with this Mexican chick. And the joke just started. Why is me going to Roberto's with a Mexican chick funny? It was fucking awesome, and if you've never done it before, I highly recommend it, because she started speaking Spanish to dudes in the back, and then he like gives us our stuff, and he's like, yeah, and everything in all the containers was like super stacked, way too much food. Hooked it up, right? And they said some shit, and she's like, oh yeah, awesome. I'm like, alright, got the end, you know? And he said some shit in Spanish, I'm like, what did he say? And she's like, we take care of our own. White people don't do that shit. White people just fuck up each other's shit. You look at all the wars that they had, it was all with each other. And then one day, someone was like, what's on the other side of the ocean? They were like, dude, don't go over there, it ends, you'll just fall off the world and die. And he was like, yeah, but maybe I'll find some shit I can fuck up. And he had to invent he had to like, I'm gonna make a thing and I could just float it in the water and go over there. He invented a boat to maybe die just to go find some shit. So then they do that, white people spend hundreds of years fucking shit up everywhere they can around the planet, and they're like, alright, that's it. Fucking did it. Fucked everything up. Now we just gotta imagine new shit to go fuck up. And some dude wrote Lord of the Rings. All of those books are just white people fucking shit up. There's no, you watch the movies, there's no other ethnicities. There's like white people and then like aliens and shit that live in caves and like, fuck, alright, what else? Alright, these white people have pointy ass ears and shit. They can fuck shit up too. And that's it. It's like in the woods, that's where the elves lives. You're not gonna find black people there. There's white people with guns and bears in woods and shit. They don't go there. So then they roll Lord of the Rings, and then they're like, all right, well now what are we gonna do? What's outside of the sky? I wonder if we can go fuck shit up in space. We can't really go to space yet, so let's imagine, let's just pretend. And then they made Star Wars, Star Trek. It's just shows and movies about a bunch of people that are white fucking shit up in space. Star Wars is just white people fucking shit up in space and one black guy trying to make it. Just Lando Calrissian just trying not to get fucked with. And I don't know if you guys paid that close attention to that movie, but he's Space Obama. He runs Cloud City. He owns that shit. And what I think is fucked up is that maybe it's just because of the times or whatever, but the only way that they could justify a black dude running an entire city in space in the clouds was that he won it in a gambling poker game. They said that shit, go back, watch the movie. But then we're like, you know what? Fuck that. We invented a boat, let's go out into the space. We invented a spaceship to go out into space, and we went to the moon. Check it out, the moon, what's here? Nothing. Next! Mars, some water, microbacterial life. Let's go fuck it up. It's true. I don't feel like I'm racist because I know how many black friends I have. It's just really easy because it's one. It would be. You've never invited me over to your fucking house, bro. We never broke bread. Don't give me that shit. Seen you open mic like 5 times. Like, yeah, we're buddies and shit, whatever. I would be your friend. I would totally be your friend. Sweet. Still didn't. He wasn't like, yeah, come over anytime. I'll just come over to his house and fuck up his shit. Thanks, everybody. My name's Jan.
Jan Flugum, ladies and gentlemen.